Hi everyone, and welcome to my weekly tarot card reading for all zodiac signs. I put the sign I'm reading at the top of the video so you can easily scroll through and find the sign you're looking for. Now remember, this is a general reading, though I sometimes get specific messages for someone who needs to hear them, so be patient, as some weeks may resonate for you and others may not. I'd also recommend looking at both your sun and ascendant sign, if you know what that is. Also, this is a great opportunity to try and use your own intuition when I show the cards, to see what message you get for yourself. It's great practice. For that, I'd recommend pausing the video and sitting quietly to see what resonates for you when you're looking at the cards. I'd love to hear what comes up for you, so let me know in the comments below. Okay. Let's get started. Okay everyone, let's get started with our weekly tarot card reading for all the zodiac signs. And this week I'm using the Dreaming Way Tarot deck. So let's get started with Aries. Let's see what we have going on for you Aries this week. Okay Aries. This week, for you, I see it's all about looking back and thinking about all the things that you have done and how you handled yourself in certain situations. Things that you have done, things that you have created, actions that you've taken. I feel like this week is going to be all about you intellectualizing all of your actions. And it doesn't have to be all of them, but there may be some specific actions that you really need to think about. Like critical thinking is what's coming up for me. It's critical thinking on things that you have done in the past. And maybe what you should have done better or how you should have handled yourself in certain situations. This could be in any area of your life. I feel like it applies very broadly because I'm getting a very broad message. So it could be in your work, in your relationships, in your family, with your friends, community. But it's all about actions that you have taken or a specific action and thinking about how you handled it in that situation and what you could have done better, because I feel this critical thinking that keeps coming up for me. So I'm assuming that means that you're thinking about how you could have done something better. If you are in sports of any kind and maybe you had a game or a meet or something like that, you might be thinking about how you handled yourself in that sports. Now, I've been getting sports all year long in different weeks, not all at the same time. So maybe someone out there is participating in some sort of sport, but you might have had something that you've just done and you're trying to think about how you could have done it better, what actions you could have taken to make it better. And moving forward, I feel like you're trying to achieve something. I really feel this goal-oriented space for you this week. And so if you are trying to achieve a goal, you have to look back and see what you've done in the past and how you could do it better in order to reach that goal. So that's a general, and that's how I'm feeling it too. I'm not feeling specifics here, which is interesting. So it may apply for more Aries than just a few this week, but pay attention to what you're capable of, because that's what I'm also hearing is you have great capabilities here. And it's all about you just fine-tuning how you're handling a situation. Now, it could just be an action that you've done in the past or how you handled yourself. It doesn't have to be specifically tied to a goal. It could just be that you're reminiscing about how you handled a situation and how you could handle it better because maybe something happened because of the way you handled the situation. So it could be something like that, and I feel that energy around family and community. That's how I'm feeling that energy. But all in all this week, Aries, I feel like it's a good week for you because I feel like in the end, what you're trying to accomplish going forward is in your best interest. So you're really trying to make the best of how you handled yourself in the past in some way. I guess that's as general as I can be for this general reading, is that. But I would also encourage you, if you are not thinking of doing this, is to really replay certain events in your life and really understand why and how you handle yourself in certain situations, because I think that will be very fruitful for you in the future. Because if you can adjust how you handle yourself in certain ways, and it's action oriented, so it could even be something that you say as well as something that you do, pay attention, because I think that in itself will help you grow to be a more dimensional person overall. So very, very interesting and good week for you, Aries, because I feel like this is a growth opportunity for you this week. Okay, now we're moving on to Taurus. What do we have going on for you, Taurus, for this week? Okay, Taurus, this week is very profound for you. I feel like you had another profound week as well, or maybe one of the other signs did. But I feel like for you, this week is all about really digging into that place where you're trying to understand the greater meaning of your life. Not of life as a whole, but of your life. What does it actually mean to you? And what is it that is your purpose in life? I feel like you're really coming to a crossroads this week about your purpose in life and what makes you happy, and what is it that you're meant to do, and what is your passion? Because I feel like there's that type of feeling coming up for me about your passions, and where do you see yourself in the future? And how are you going to get there? It's very, very profound. It's like that real higher level thinking, like when they say, I want to think about it 30,000 feet. It's that feeling. And you're also noticing where you've been and how you've gotten here. So you're encompassing everything. So where you've been, how you've gotten here, where you want to go, what's your passion, what do you believe in, what do you want to do in your life, understanding it from a higher level. And you want to show up for the rest of your life in the way that satisfies you. And it's something that you know deep inside, because I feel like it's you tapping into your own intuition, which everyone has, by the way. You just have to really focus on it, not from a mental level, but from your heart and your soul. And every person out there has this capability of understanding what is right for them, not what they see happening around them. Because everybody has a different purpose. Everybody has different lifestyle, different things that get them up in the morning and excite them. And it's not the same for everyone. And I feel like you're understanding that from your own perspective to say, this is what I need to do in my life. And this is what will make me happy for the rest of my life. And this is where I've been, and some of it has been great and some of it maybe not so great. But I want to take what I've done and expand upon it, but in my own way, in my own judgment. So very profound week for you, Taurus. And it's excellent because I think so many people should be looking at their own selves and what passion they have and what they can bring to the world that's different from other people. And that's what makes the world so great. So great week for you, dear Taurus. Okay, now we're moving on to Gemini. What do we have going on for you, Gemini, for this week? Okay, Gemini, this is also for you an intuitive week. This is interesting. So maybe some of you have Taurus and Gemini closely in your chart, because I also feel here there's a new opportunity that you have your eye on and you know this is meant for you. And when I say new opportunity, it can be a job, it can be something that you are going to obtain. It could even be something that you're looking to purchase even. But it's something that you know this is for you. And it may even be a house, because I just picked up on house. So some of you may be looking at a house or an apartment or a place of living. And when I say place of living, that's how it came up for me. So that must mean it could be moving to a different location. So there's something about where you're headed that you know is right for you. Yeah, I'm really picking up on location. So you may be looking at property in a certain location, different from where you're living. For some of you, again, that could be very specific. So it did come up, and as you know, I have to mention what comes up for me. In a general sense, though, you have an understanding of what is meant for you. That's the most general way I can say it. And you may be involved in something going on in your life right now where it is acquiring something. Like I said, it could be a job, it could be a home, it could be something you're acquiring. It's physical, it is tangible. It is not a skill set. So it's not related to education of some sort. It's more of a thing. Tangible, I feel very tangible here. And you are I don't even want to say contemplating, because I feel like you may be contemplating on the outside, but in the inside, you're knowing that it's the right thing for you, whatever this is for you. It could be something even like a car, because I'm feeling heaviness, meaning to me it's a heavy, tangible. There's a lot of weight to it, which means that's why I'm going after the big things like the house or the car or the location even. There's something that it's not like something minor for you, it's something major for you. That's why I feel heavy, and I feel like you know that this is the right thing for you. You're in the process of, maybe that's why contemplating came up for me. You're not actually ready to do it just yet. You're feeling it out. You're feeling if this is right for you. You know that it is. It's like this cautious feeling, I guess I'm feeling for you, because it is such a big momentum for you to do this or have this or change this. There's something about you changing. So I'm thinking changing location, changing homes, changing area, changing cars. There's something about it that you know it's the right thing for you, but you may be doing some research. But if you are doing research, you have to go with your gut, because here it's saying that you will know inside if it's the right thing for you. Nobody's going to be able to tell that to you. So if you are researching or asking people for their opinions, take their opinions, but measure it against how you feel. And if it feels right to you, then it's meant for you. And if it doesn't feel right for you, then it's not meant for you. I always like to use this test of making a decision that you're going to purchase it or move or whatever it is that you're doing here, and actually make up your mind, say, okay, I am doing XYZ, and see how that makes you feel. And then say, you know what, I'm not doing that. And see how that makes you feel. And you'd be surprised that when you do this exercise, but you have to believe it. You have to believe, okay, I'm going to make this decision. I'm going to do this. And see what happens in your gut. If there's fear coming up for you when you say you're going to do it, why is that fear coming up for you? And then you dig deeper into why that fear is there. And maybe you find out that it's actually not really what you want, but you feel pressured to do that. And the same goes for if you say, I'm not going to do something, feel into it and feel like, what comes up for me? What are the emotions? Because there's so many emotions that could come up for you, and then keep digging deeper into those emotions of why you're feeling, and it really helps you drill down onto really what you want. And a lot of times there's pressure on the outside that you feel like you have to do something or not. And really, it's all within you that will dictate what is the best plan of action. So just really dig into how you feel, because you know what's best for you, dear Gemini. Okay, now we're moving on to Cancer. What do we have going on for you, Cancer, this week? Okay, Cancer, right away, when I put down the cards, the first thing that came up for me right away, so this again could be very specific for only some of you, but if any of you are in a new relationship, it's a newly formed relationship, you don't know what to do about it. There's something that you may be picking up. You might be getting some red flags if you're just dating, because I feel like this would be a dating relationship. So if you're in a long-term relationship or marriage, this would not apply to you. But if you are newly dating someone, there's something happening where you're picking up these red flags around what maybe you're noticing things about the other person, but you don't want to think about it because you really want this to work. There are probably a bunch of things that this person has, these qualities they have that are great, but there are these red flags that keep coming up. And I feel like you're kind of looking to the other side. What do they say? You're putting out a blind eye. There's some saying about not paying attention to those signs, which are very important, by the way, to be realistic about. And I feel like in this stage, you're just watching these things, but it is bothering you. So there may be ways that they're engaging, or if you're out and about, there's certain traits they have that they're just not sitting right with you, but you're trying to say, this shouldn't be a big deal. Why am I letting this get to me? But you don't want to make any kind of rash move like break up with them or say anything, because I feel like for you, this is too new and you're really trying to give it a chance, because you probably just realized I met this person and they're pretty great, but there are some issues that are bothering you. So again, that's not gonna apply to everybody here. That's very specific, but as you know, if you followed me, I do have to relay what comes up for me, because there is a message for someone who will be drawn to this video and needs to hear that. For general purposes, the way I can tell you about this energy is that there could also be some of you out there that you're not sure that you're ever going to find that right person, because this is all about relationships, and you don't know what to do to find that relationship. It's like, what do you do? Do you go online to meet someone? Do you go out with your friends? What is it that you have to do to meet that person and you don't know what it is? And there's this stuckness of not knowing what to do, but it's bothering you because you're spending a lot of time and energy thinking about it. So there's a lot of energy thinking this week in regards to love. Now, if you're in an established relationship, this is where you're really looking at your life and your relationship as a whole and what it actually means to you. But there is this nagging, there's something nagging about a relationship this week. It is nagging you about how you're handling things or thinking about maybe things that have happened in the relationship, certain situations that you feel, oh, I should have brought this up, or I can't stop thinking about how this was handled or what he or she said to me. I don't understand. Like there's this, just mental activity around some situation in a relationship. And I feel like not knowing how to handle it, that's what the general message is. Right now, I don't know how to handle this, because you're only seeing it from one side, which is your side. So the message here is to say, if there is any issues happening around a relationship or something that has been said or done and it's really bothering you, the message here is really put yourself in the other person's shoes to see how it is from their perspective and what they meant by it. If they said anything or did anything, everybody has a different perspective. And if you understand their perspective, you'll be able to talk to them about it. Because I feel like right now it's all internal with you. And the message here is that you have to engage with the other person, because the communication is key here on helping work this out. So if this does apply to you and there's any situation that is rocky or something that's bothering you, the other person just may not be aware that it's bothering you. and they need to be aware of it, but in a way that, you're not blaming or saying things. You just have to let the person know how it made you feel, and then they can realize something about you that maybe they didn't even think about. So always remember that in a situation, especially in relationships where communication is key and you can't hold things in if it's just bothering you. Maybe you're afraid that you don't want to say it in a certain way and start a fight, but you don't have to. You just have to say, remember this situation? Well, I just want you to know how it made me feel, and I was really sad, or I felt embarrassed, or there was something maybe that made you feel insecure, and I just want you to be aware of it, that happened. And that's it. And then they're looking at it from your perspective now, not being accused of what they did, because then they'll go on the defensive, but they'll understand from your perspective. And then you can work it out that they're more conscientious of that behavior going forward. So don't take it as like they did it to intentionally hurt you, if this does apply to you, but it's just more that they have to understand your perspective. So it's all about perspectives in relationships this week, dear Cancer. So good luck with your communication. Okay, now we're moving on to Leo. What do we have going on for you, Leo, this week? Okay, Leo, when I put the cards down at first, I feel this split. Let me see if I can explain to you how I feel. There's a split within you. There may be a situation where you want to do something. It could even be in a relationship, or there's some engagement with another person, but you're split on how you should approach the situation. There is something that is, I want to say, hidden in you. I don't know how to explain this, because I feel it internal with you, that you know that you can do it in an outward way. You have this skill that you can approach the situation in this relationship with another person. If it is something that you have to say or do, you can do it. It's like you have this natural ability. This is what I'm feeling. Let's see if I can make sense out of this for you. But it's like you have a natural ability to handle a certain situation, and I feel like it's in a relationship with another person. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a love relationship. I want to make that clear. I'm trying to use relationship as a broad term here. It could be a relationship. I just see one other person here. And there's a way that you know how to handle yourself in any situation. I feel like some of it could be a public situation for some reason. I'm feeling public. So it might be out in public, because I see other people, but they're not involved in the situation. So that's why I'm thinking it might be out in public. But yet, you know that this way you do things naturally to you, it's almost like, I want to call it a facade, if that makes any sense to you. It's almost like it's not the real you. There's something missing in how you're handling yourself. Let's see if this can make more sense. There is something that deep inside you know isn't really what you want to say or what you want to do. But you know that if you say that thing or do that thing, you have experience behind you that says, that'll work. That'll work, I can handle myself in this situation with another person. This is how I'll perform. It's almost like a performance, but it's a facade because it's on the outside. So it just is almost like a knee-jerk reaction, that it's something that you've had happen in the past. Like, this will work. You know that whatever you say or do will be the right thing to do, or will be accepted. It will be accepted by the other person. But inside, it's not who you really are, or not what you want to say or do. And it's hard for you to look at that side of yourself, because that's too much exposure for you. And you don't want to be exposing some of the deeper things that you have going on, because you've never really done that before. This is how I'm sort of feeling it. It's almost like, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. Everything's perfect. You know what to say. You know what to do. And you have this facade that you walk around with. Now, this doesn't have to be all the time, but it could be in a certain situation with this other person, whoever that other person is. Everything's fine, but really you just want to tell them something, either how you're feeling or something deeper, because I feel like it's a deep emotion that you're not addressing with this other person that needs to come out. And I think that will be like clearing the air and letting them see who you really are. So there's something that you're not showing about who you really are to this other person. And again, I'm feeling this other person, but I'm not feeling whether it's the love relationship or a friend or someone close to you. It's someone definitely that you are close to emotionally, but it doesn't necessarily have to be your significant other or a partner or a lover or something like that. But it is necessary. There is something about something hidden in you, an emotion that has to come up and out with this other person, to be real with them, to be authentic with them. And I'm not feeling how they are judging it. Like, I don't even know that they would even notice that you were having a facade when it comes to whatever this is. I feel like that's just how you always operate. This is just how you do things. This is what you say and this is what you do, and everybody doesn't worry about you because you're okay. Because you say you're okay and you act like you're okay, and it's this really confident exterior that you're putting on, but really there's something about it inside that you really want to tell people, no, this isn't okay, or you want to act different in a situation, but it's hard for you. So the message here is saying that it is important to at least be aware of that deeper side of you. You don't necessarily have to just change overnight and all of a sudden become a different person or start, acting. But I think here it's saying that it is time for you to maybe take a little time and think about other ways to handle something or in a situation, to be true to who you really are. And I think people will respond in a positive way to this authentic self of yours. So hopefully that made sense. I feel like as I was going through it, I was really trying to communicate what I was feeling, and sometimes it's tricky. So hope this resonated for you. Okay, now we're moving on to Virgo. What do we have going on for you, Virgo, for this week? This one. Okay, Virgo, as soon as I laid the cards down, I felt they're going to get what's coming to them. So hopefully that makes sense to you. They're going to get what's coming to them, which means somebody may have done you wrong or not had your best interest, or something happened, maybe someone stole from you, or they did something that wasn't in your best interest. It just happened. It was like a situation that came out of the blue or something. And it's weird because I feel you understanding that behavior wasn't because of you, yourself. You're not taking it personally, if that makes sense, but you know that karma's a bitch. They're gonna get what's coming to them. And you're looking at it as this person, whoever this person is, they're insecure. There's something about this person. They're acting out. I feel like someone is acting out, but you know that they're acting out because of insecurities or because of maybe they don't know any better, or there's something going on about this person, but you are one step ahead of them. You know that it had nothing to do with you personally. You're not taking it personally. It's almost like, yep, they're going to get it. Whatever it is, they're going to get what's coming to them, and their time will come. And I just have to keep doing what I'm doing, because I feel like you are continuing on your own journey, doing what you're doing, and you're not gonna let anybody disrupt your feathers. I keep feeling like, ruffle your feathers. That's what I'm feeling. I love it. I love this energy, Virgo, because it is almost like looking at it from a higher perspective, where you're watching this like it's a play. and you see this person, but you're detached to them in a way. You're not connecting with them emotionally so that you're now emotional and upset about and creating drama. You're not doing any of that, Virgo. You are just really steady. I feel this steadiness with you handling this situation and just continuing. And I feel like this person, it's almost like it's making it worse for them, which you're fine with because whatever they did was not in your best interest. I can tell you that much if this does apply to you. But your behavior, because you know that it's them and not you, and you're still doing what you're doing, so you may be even successful in something and they're jealous because they could be jealous about how you handle yourself. But you have enough confidence that you know nothing can shake you up, and whatever happens with another person, that's on them. If they behave in a bad way or do anything that's not in your best interest, that's on them. And they have to live with it, and that's their thing. And they may come back to you years later and apologize. We've all had that happen to us where, you think, I let it go, but you handled yourself so well, they're gonna realize it at a later date. Or not, not everybody does, but I love this energy for you, Virgo. It is just consistent. Again, this may not apply to everyone because this is sort of a specific situation, but it is the only situation that is coming up for me this week. I can't really translate this generally. I mean, it is general in a sense. There is somebody who is not having your best interest in some respect, but what I love about this reading for you, Virgo, is how you're handling it, because you are doing the right thing by understanding that you're on a track that you're on and you're not going to waver for anybody. You're just not going to waver. And that is important, and that speaks highly. So if you are not acting in that way, the message here would say, just keep doing what you're doing and don't let someone else put a crack in your dish. Don't let anyone do that. Just keep going and stay confident because what you're doing is the right thing. So hopefully that made sense to you, dear Virgo. Okay, now we are moving on to Libra. What do we have going on for you, Libra, this week? Okay, Libra, I feel like you have it all together this week. Everything is lining up for you. It's a week of ease for you. That's what I'm feeling for you, Libra, this week. I feel like for some of you, you could even be on vacation this week. I feel you with friends and family. I also feel like if it is a work situation for you in work, I feel like if you're presenting or having a conversation or in a meeting and you are contributing very highly to that event, because I'm also feeling that you in a work situation and you're adding much value to whatever conversation is happening in a work-related setting. So that's how I'm feeling that in a work-related setting. And the ease is part of that. It's like you have the answers to what people are looking for, but it's coming easily to you. It's not like you're having to do a lot of research or struggling to come up with figuring out what the solution should be. It's just naturally coming up for you, and that means that it is the right solution, and people understand that and they're so thankful. I feel like there's a new level of appreciation for you in your workplace if work is an issue, or this may apply to you. But I also feel this week of ease where someone may also be on vacation and just having a wonderful time with their friends and family. And I feel like in that situation, it is also the communication is flowing really well with the people that you care about. There's no family fights or issues with siblings or things like that. It's just very ease. It's an ease week for you, dear Libra. I feel like you're saying the right things all the time, and you're saying them because you feel them. There's a love emanating from you this week, and that even applies in work, by the way. Even though I'm using the word love and work in the same sentence, but it's an authentic feeling. And when I say love, it's coming from your heart. So if you're in a work situation and you're having a discussion with peers or with your boss or whatever it may be, you're coming to it from a heart level. So the solution is for the best of everybody. It's something that you feel versus just saying what you think you're supposed to say, or just going through the motions, as they say. You won't be going through the motions. You're going to be putting more heart and soul into whatever it is that you're doing in work. Same with family and vacation, because I'm feeling both of those at the same time, which is, maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe some of you are on vacation and some of you are still doing work things, because I am feeling it side by side. Maybe you're traveling for work and you brought your family with you. Maybe you have a conference you're attending or something that you're doing and your family is there for you, and maybe you're extending your trip to be with your family. Maybe that's why I'm feeling it at the same time. It's hard for me to decipher because I'm feeling them the same way. So you would have to decipher that. I'm just trying to give you everything that I'm feeling as this general reading. So wonderful week for you, Libra. I don't have anything else that's coming up for me here for you. This is a very good week for you. Very confident, but loving at the same time. So great week for you, dear Libra. Okay, now we are moving on to Scorpio. Let's see what we have going on for you, Scorpio, this week. Okay, this Hierophant card has come up. I think this is the third time it's come up. Okay, Scorpio, you may have lack of energy this week for actually getting anything productive done. You may be just not wanting to deal with life's pressures or things that you have to do this week. It's almost like I just want to just relax or be by myself. So if you have a lot of pressure this week, if you have a lot of deadlines, this isn't the best week for you to be productive because of this energy that's coming up. I feel like maybe for some of you, the things that you have to do, you don't feel that are important, or they're things you just don't want to deal with because they aren't your favorite things to do. So if you are in a work situation, there may be tasks or goals that you have to get done that just, it's not really exciting for you. It's, everybody has that in their job. It's, there are things that you like about your job, but then there are things that you have to do. Everybody's the same. It doesn't matter what career you're in. You have to take the good with the bad, and it's part of the job, and you just have to get those things done. So it might be that type of week for you where, you're not on any exciting projects or whatever it is that you do for your work, but you still have to get the work done. That could be the way, because I'm feeling like you're thinking about all the wonderful things you do want to do and you can't do them this week, or you're just missing that. You're missing the fun stuff. Or you may be looking at other people and saying, wow, I wish I could do what they're doing, because that is something I would want to do. So you may be thinking about the things that you want to get involved in, maybe the job or the career that you're in. You're realizing that it's not something that you want to do, and you see somebody else and you think, that's what I want to do, and that's where I should be headed because that excites me. So you're really thinking about, what is exciting you and what isn't in regards to what you're doing. Now, for some of you, you just may want to take vacation and relax and think about your life on vacation, because there is this feeling about what you really want to accomplish in your life going forward, and something that brings you passion, something that really resonates with you and what you're meant to do. And you may be in a job because the job pays enough and you have to pay your bills, but it's really not what you want to do. So there's a lot of thinking about maybe going back to school to gain a skill to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish in your life's profession, but you don't have the skills right now, so you have to gather the skills. There could be, dragging your feet on that, because if there are, years involved in getting a skill, that's what's kind of bringing you down. You might have thought it was only going to be a year and it turned into 3 or 4 years, and you think, I don't know if I really want to take that much time to do that. So that's the energy. It's just like you're thinking about what resonates with you, but you're not necessarily going to do anything about it. There's this tired energy as well coming up here. So again, it's all about how you're handling things this week, and it will pass. This is a very short-term feeling. I don't feel like it's something that will weigh on you for a long time. It's just this week is sort of facing the facts of what you have to do and what you want to do. Two different things. All right, dear Scorpio. Okay, now we're moving on to Sagittarius. What's happening for you, Sagittarius? Okay, Sagittarius, this is great because I think last week you had a kind of a tough week, if it applied to you at all, but in my world, that's how it came up. So for this week, I feel like I believe last week there was something about your job, maybe you got scolded or reprimanded or lost your job. This week is a totally different thing. This is all about understanding all the skills you have and what you can do and the choices that you have. Sending out resumes, looking at all the opportunities you have. It's like, I feel like it's this bright child with bright eyes looking at the world and saying, what can I do? There are so many things I can do. So if it did apply to you last week, it was a good thing, because this week now you're realizing that that was the best thing that could ever happen to you. So if you did resonate with last week's reading, you can always go back and look at it. It was about, being scolded by, I remember your reading because I remember thinking, geez, this poor person, if it does apply to you, it was a shock to you. Something happened. And it was something you weren't expecting. This week, you're so glad it happened because it's opening your eyes to the potential that you have, the possibilities that you have in your life, what you can do that actually excites you. I feel like this whole week is all about people figuring out what it is that they want to do that excites them. I mean, I'm really feeling a theme here. But for you, I feel like there's a lot of activity. You may be going on interviews this week because I feel you very strong in your communication. You have good intellect this week, but you see all the things in life that maybe you didn't notice before. So if you were in a situation that you were stuck and someone unstuck you, you didn't do it on your own. Now you're realizing that, wow, I wasn't even paying attention to this part of life. But this is so exciting. Look at all the things I can do, I can accomplish, I can have. It's like I feel this energy of a child, getting excited about things. Now, you may have a child who is excited about things. So I have to be literal sometimes in my readings because sometimes it is literally literal. And there's an excitement feeling of a child. So if, for example, you're on vacation with your child, they may be having a blast. You may be going to Disney World or something like that where there's all these rides and there's things to do and it's just an overwhelming, it's like that overload you get when there's so much stimulation in your life. It's just this excitement. There's a great energy with you. There's a lot of belief this week, Sagittarius, that you can do anything. There's complete confidence this week. What a different reading than I got last week for Sagittarius, but complete confidence. You're ready to take on the world and you're ready to go for it, whatever that is for you. And you're having fun on the journey of finding out what that path is for you. So excellent, Sagittarius, and I'm happy to see that come up in this reading. Okay, now we are moving on to Capricorn. What do we have going on for you, Capricorn, this week? Okay, Capricorn, first thing that came up as I was putting down the cards is the cycle is ended, and you know it. And it's like something has come to its fruition or the cycle has ended. This could be a cycle in a relationship. This could be a cycle in a job, a career. There's something you're realizing that no longer serves you, and it's the end of an era even. It could even be your, children are leaving the nest and it's the ending of a cycle. So that's why I think of it in your life because it's very general. Could be, as I said, a relationship. It could be an error with your children. Somebody might have passed for you, and that error is gone now. That person, it's a cycle with that person that is no longer there for you. But it is very much understood by you. That's what I'm getting. Whatever this cycle is, it's not that it's unexpected, but it's just a fact, because I'm really feeling you very matter of fact about this cycle ending. There's not a lot of tears, not a lot of drama. If it was a job, I'm just going to go through the situations. If it was a job, you know that it had its time and it's no longer serving you, and you're able to separate very cleanly, and it's not emotional for you. Same with the relationship. Maybe it's a relationship that just, you knew it wasn't working. It had its good times, but it had its bad times, but you're now not that person. And so a matter of fact, the relationship has ended and it's okay. There's not a lot of feeling of that, you know, if you break up in a relationship and you feel emotional about it and you're sad and you're grief stricken, it's very different energy, Capricorn. This is very matter of fact. Yep, it's over. Maybe you're in a divorce proceeding and the paper is signed, you're feeling good about it, done. But I also feel like you understand the benefit of either that job, career, person in your life. If someone did pass, you understand what their role was for you in your life, but it's very intellectual. There's no emotion happening with this change in your life. It is just understood by you. You understand that this is just a cycle ending for you. So it is something that is changing in your life, but I don't feel like this change is happening without you knowing first. It's not like a sudden shock to you. I don't feel that from you. I feel like you knew it was coming. It's something matter of fact. You understand it. It may be a sudden event, but it doesn't shock you, if that makes any sense to you, because I feel like you're accepting this. You're accepting change in your life. You're accepting the end of a cycle. You're accepting what isn't applicable in your life anymore. So, wow, it's very interesting energy I'm feeling. It's like, okay, let's just move on. So, wow, way to be Capricorn. Okay, now we're moving on to Aquarius, and let's just see what's going on for you, Aquarius, this week. Okay, Aquarius, as soon as I was putting down the cards, I kept hearing over and over, there's something you can't see happening right now. There's something you can't see. There is possibly a decision that you have to make, and you can't make the decision right at this point in your life. This is not something you want to do. There is a feeling that you either don't have all the information you need to make the decision, or there's something that you don't want to deal with in having to make this decision. There may be some reason I'm feeling you may have to make a decision for somebody else. If that applies to you, it just came up for me. So if that does apply for you, you might have to make a decision for someone else and you just can't do it. Maybe somebody's asking for your advice. Maybe you're a judge or someone that has the capabilities of making a decision, and you're not comfortable with making this decision. There's more information you need. There's a question of whether this is a fair decision or not. It's very much around you can't do it right now, and maybe you're being pressured to make a decision and you're very reluctant to make this decision. I feel like it could be with you a decision around your life, but it also, I'm feeling, could be a decision for somebody else too. They're both coming up strongly for me, so however that plays in your life, I can't imagine at this moment how they can be connected, but it may come to me. I feel like for you, it's like you just want to escape this. something happening in your life and you want to escape it right now. You don't want to deal with it. There's that feeling too. Maybe it's a decision that you don't want to make because you know the outcome of what's going to happen if you make this decision in your life, if it does apply to you. And there's that feeling like, maybe if I just don't do anything, this situation will go away. It's like you want it to go away. So we've all had those moments in life where you just want to just close your eyes and pretend you're dreaming and, open your eyes and say, am I still here? And we've all done that before, right? Where you wish that you were just dreaming. This should be a dream because I don't want it to be that I'll have to do this. Make this decision. There's also, I'm feeling this lack of motivation for you overall this week. So there's not any kind of gumption of doing something, taking an action. So say, for example, you're thinking about leaving a job or maybe even getting a job. Maybe you're not working, Aquarius, at this point, and you need to get a job, but you really don't want to do it. Because I feel like it's that I just don't want to do this. It's that feeling, whether you have to get a job or you have to leave a job, whatever that is, I'm just gonna keep going as I'm going, but I'm not gonna do anything about it right now. So for you, Aquarius, this week is all about just sitting on it, whatever that is. I don't feel like this is a week for you to make any changes in your life. You're not ready, because I feel like there are things that you still have to figure out. And it could be figure out about yourself. There's this energy that there's a stuckness to it, but it's not really stuck because you're stuck. It's because the motivation isn't there. The motivation to do it isn't there. So you could do it if you wanted to, but you just don't really want to do it. So that to me is different than being stuck. Being stuck is like you can't have any control over it. This you do have control over, you just don't want to. So it's like kicking your feet saying, you know what, I'm just not gonna worry about it today. Lack of energy, maybe rest. Maybe you just need to take the time you need, because I feel that too. I'm feeling take the time you need, whatever that is for you, Aquarius. But this isn't like a big week to make any huge decisions. Okay, now we are moving on to Pisces. Let's see what we have going on for you, Pisces. Okay, Pisces. It's like you have the eye on the prize. You're looking for what success you want to accomplish. I feel like right now you may be sitting thinking about the work that has to be done to get you to that place of success. You're very driven this week for the end goal and what it will take for you, what type of work you have to do to get there from here. This could be a week of making lists, vision boards, writing out your dreams, because I feel like you have to actually see them in writing or speak about them. Maybe you have to communicate with another person to figure out what has to be done. For example, if you're thinking of starting a company, because this could be, that came up for me right now. So some of you may be looking to start a company. What will it take for you to get this going so that it has the potential to be successful? It could be starting a project, same thing. So if it's not a company for you, it could be a project. I'm feeling relocation of a business too. So I'm feeling very business driven in this particular reading. So you may be relocating a business to another area, maybe another subsidiary in another country or something, but what will it take for you to get that up and running? It's that type of thing. So very executive. I'm feeling very executive right now and very matter of fact with how you're going to make it happen. But for the majority of people, this is all about what it will take to achieve your goals, whatever your goals may be. But this message is very clear to me that it's something that you have to lay out, whether, like I said, a vision board, communicate to another person. It has to be lined up. I see lists, what is it going to take? how much money is it going to be, because it's all about the work it will take and the money it will take to be able to be successful in whatever this is for you. So again, apply that into your life if this does resonate with you, and what needs to be done, because I feel like that's what's going to be success for you, is preparation. I feel like for you, it's preparation equals success. In this case, if this does resonate with you, being prepared for every little nook and cranny that you're trying to get to that end goal of success. And that end goal is always for you to be successful in something. I feel motivation from you in order to achieve this. And very driven. I feel a driven energy. And even if you don't have enough money to say this business or whatever that may be, you're thinking about how you can get money. Can you get people to contribute to your business? Can you find a partner? Can you get a loan? How can you get this up and running? So it's all about what it will take to be successful in something. Now, if you're not interested in business, or you're just living your life day to day, this for you is all about, how am I going to be successful in what I'm doing during my day, and do I have enough? Am I making enough money to be successful in my life, to achieve something? What is it that it will take for me to be successful in my life, in my job, whatever I'm doing? It's driven around money as well, and work, money and work. So do you have to work harder to get that promotion? So you have to line it up. If you are looking for success, and to you success is to have a certain promotion or be in a different type of job, what will that take? What skills do I need to learn? How much work do I have to put in? Is it going to cost me anything? If I have to go to school, do I have to figure out the loans that I'll need to take out? So it's very pragmatic. That's the word I want to use this week for you, Pisces. It's very, very pragmatic. So good luck to you. It looks like it would be successful. It just has to be all written out and identified. Okay, another great weekly reading for everyone, and I hope you enjoy your week. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.